Hey guys, it's Science with Miss Sammy and Miss Kim. Miss Kim's going to be my helper today. So I have a question for you. So, how hungry are you when you get home from a busy day at school? Are you starving, ravenous, famished? Those might be some of the adjectives that you use when you get home and you're describing the hunger pains that you have after sitting in school all day. So instead of starting your homework, do you go to the refrigerator first? Maybe you want to try to grab a snack and you look in the refrigerator after school and you can't find anything that you want to eat. You might be tempted to make your own concoction, but what you need to know is there are certain foods in the refrigerator you really can't eat together because they cause certain chemical reactions. So you might find some vinegar in your refrigerator. We happen to have a bowl of vinegar right here. You might find baking soda because sometimes people put that in their refrigerator to help with the smell. So we have a bowl of baking soda. You don't want to eat these two things together, trust me. It will not work out well. But what you can do is do your own science experiment right on your kitchen counter. And Miss Kim and I are going to show you how to do some little volcanoes. We're going to explode things in your kitchen and your parents are going to be upset.
What a mess it's going to make.
What a mess she is right it's going to make. So in your kit, we have the instructions for you. And then you have one, I think it's 2 egg crate pieces. We happen to have a half of an 18 slice, so we're going to make a big mess for you today. The first thing that you want to do when you're doing this experiment is use the things in your kit. If you don't have enough and you want to recreate this again, ask the adults in your house if you can use the materials they have. Make sure you ask. Always put some type of paper down on the surface of where you're working. We have recycled wrapping paper. You can use newspaper, anything that you don't care to, if it gets ruined, you can throw it away afterwards. Also in your kit, you should find, woohoo, a plastic Easter egg. Now we have lots of plastic Easter eggs because we have many more holes than you have in yours. So Miss Kim and I are going to fill the crates with plastic Easter egg pieces. And it doesn't matter, you're going to use both of your pieces, so we can put whatever ones we want to in here.
Now some of these, they all have holes, so it doesn't matter.
Right. But yes, so your plastic eggs will have holes in the bottom. It doesn't matter, don't worry about that at all. We will be able to use those. And we are just going to fill this up, Miss Kim, because we are going to make a big explosion for people to see. Okay. Also in your kit, you have little containers of vinegar and baking soda, and that's what you'll be working with for your egg today. In one of your past kits, you should have had some food coloring. Now yours might be in a different shaped bottle than ours, but you want to pull out the food coloring. Now, you don't have to use the food coloring. You're still going to get the same chemical reaction between the baking soda and the vinegar, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. But putting food coloring in kind of makes it a little bit more exciting, so you can see what's happening.
And a lot more messier.
And a lot more messier.
Which is why you need to protect your surface.
Yes. So we are going to take baking soda, and again, you have it in a small cup. And you're gonna put the baking soda in your eggs.
So about a teaspoon in each egg? Is that what you're doing?
I might need a little more if we want to make it really messy for them, but I can use what was in the kit. Now
I can get more if you need it.
Remember that your eggs did indeed have holes in the bottom, just like ours. But by putting the baking soda in first, that will stuff the hole up. I think we got it, Miss Kim, if I open this other one.
Good.
So while we're doing this, Let me tell you a little bit
Yeah, I'll
about
finish.
baking soda.
Let me finish for you.
There you go.
You can talk about the science.
Sure. So, baking soda and vinegar, like mixing these two ingredients together, yes, it's going to cause a fun explosion, but why? So, baking soda acts as a base. It is a proton, and our vinegar is an acetic acid, and it is going to turn the baking soda, which is, by the way, bicarbonate. The two chemicals interact together, and that interaction is called a base acid or acid-base reaction. When they're first mixed together, which we're not going to do quite yet, the hydrogen ions in the vinegar react with the sodium and bicarbonate ions in the baking soda. And the result in the initial reaction is that the two chemicals come together and they make carbonic acid and sodium acetate.
Wow.
So it actually breaks it down and ends up being carbon dioxide gas. So Miss Kim and I are going to take some colors and add it to our baking soda.
How many drops do you think, Miss Sammy?
I think for the size of our baking soda, we're gonna drop maybe 3 or 4 drops in each egg. And we'll try to give you a pretty rainbow of colors. What's funny is when you drop your liquid coloring on top of the baking soda, I want you to notice what it does. It stays formed in little beads. It doesn't spread throughout the baking soda, which is kind of cool.
And we're doing 2 with each of these, is that right?
I think so. Is this blue? Grass green.
Okay,
How
use
cool
that
is
one, because
that?
I think we ran out of room.
Grass green. I think that's cool how it stays in little drops and it just rolls around on the top of the baking soda.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have our bicarbonate, and now we are going to take our lovely vinegar, which is the acetate
You
acid.
got your dipper? Okay.
And in your kit, you should have received a pipette. Now, if that by chance is not in your kit, I'm sure you could take a spoon and do this.
Oh, I could try it with a spoon, Miss Sammy.
But you take your pipette and you squeeze it, and you fill the tube with vinegar. And we're going to do the first egg and see what happens. Oh, Miss Natalie, can you
wow.
focus in on that? Look how that is starting to bubble. Now, the more
I can hear
vinegar,
it bubbling.
the more vinegar you put in, the more of that explosive effect is going to happen. Ooh, Miss Kim.
A spoonful works pretty good.
I like the green. Whoa.
Ooh.
This is why you want to have some paper underneath your work area. I wonder, Miss Kim,
Yeah.
what would happen if we got just a little silly?
Ooh.
Whoops. Well, it helps if you get it in there, right?
Oh, wow.
You hear all that bubbling? That is the two chemicals at work making that change in the reaction. We'll do that one more. Whoa!
Cool.
So this is slightly messy, but it does help you learn about putting a proton and a acid together and the chemical reaction that has. Just like when you have the carbonate bubbles in your sodas, that's exactly what this did, was that made it bubble. That's that carbon dioxide, and it rises to the top of the mixture.
I was just curious, Miss Sammy, to see what the baking soda looks like. It's just like
The baking soda looks like soup.
sludge.
And I do want to point out, I don't know, Miss Natalie, can you look into the eggs? Check out the color, the dot. Some of them still stayed their dot. They didn't.
Yeah.
Like here's another. Oh, here's another one. Oh, I broke it. Here's another one. Now, that's another question. Why would food coloring not react to that chemical mixture? Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's for another science episode. So for right now, we, Miss Kim and I, are out, and we'll join you next time with Science with Miss Sammy and Miss Kim.
Bye.